Mais... Oh, attends. Mais là, ils font quelque chose, comment je fais? Par où je dois aller? Je dois rentrer? Ah là. Vraiment là? D'accord, ok. J'étais à deux doigts de passer à côté, mais c'est pas grave.
Sometimes you act like a real jerk, you know that?
Come on, Ozzy, don't be like that.
What, like what? Like someone who felt betrayed by the man he loves? Did you ever even try to find me? Rescue me?
You know, it's not like that. I wanted to. I was so afraid to leave the hospital, not to be seen with you.
We survived this shit together. That's all that matters. I know you did your best.
Oh.
Fuck the war, right? And fuck them all.
Fuck the war. Fuck them all.
Ok, bah on a découvert un secret. Je peux... Oh, bah décidément, il va où lui? Il est en surbrillance, il va se passer quelque chose, mais il ne bouge pas. Pourquoi t'es en surbrillance, toi, si je peux pas regarder ce que tu fais? Monsieur. Bon, du coup, je crois qu'il est en train de monter, donc... Faut que je trouve vite. Faut que je trouve vite. Ouais, pour expliquer, quelque part, il y a un échafaudage, il faut que je monte dessus. Et que je... Pour l'espionner, en fait. C'est fini. Je l'ai raté, dommage.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
Someone killed Miss Jones in her room, and Mr. Hampton's gone missing. Doesn't take a genius to piece it together.
You don't seem shocked by any of this.
Why should I be? Whoever did this must be long gone by now. And besides, he got rid of the old bag.
Ah, c'est vrai que elle n'était pas forcément très sympathique, mais bon, est-ce que c'était une raison pour qu'elle meure de cette manière-là? Je ne crois pas, non.
It seems the Frewen are redoubling their patrols in the district. I must be more careful.
Ah ouais, eux, je ne les aime pas parce qu'ils sont très casse-pieds. Il me menace en s'en allant. C'est pas très crédible ça, monsieur. Ah ouais. Ah voilà, un truc que je déteste. Bon, ok. Tu veux faire ça? Eh ben regarde bien. Meurs. Meurs. Quatorze. Au moins on a un truc équitable, c'est bien. Vite. Mais... Il va quand même réussir à me tuer. Mais... Il va me tuer en fait. Vas-y, donne-moi, parce que là, ça commence à être un petit peu... J'ai tué en plus. Eh ben, punaise, pour un niveau 14 qui était équivalent au mien, ça a été fort galère quand même. Test du docteur Strickland. Hypochlorite de sodium, prégnate de potassium.
Opium is one of the main ingredients of Strickland's medication. Never a good move.
You have the right to disapprove of our methods, and you will kindly apologize when you're feeling better.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
Can you tell me anything about the recent commotion in the hospital?
I'm sure it was not your fault, Dr. Reed.
My fault? What do you mean?
Oh, nothing. It's just... I heard it was you who brought the murderer inside our walls. But you couldn't know, could you?
Ah bah oui, donc du coup ça va me retomber dessus. On adore.
I located the shop, but it was vandalized, and the owner is missing. All I found was your order.
I was afraid of such bad news. People are so desperate they're ready to burgle a shop for drugs.
That's quite a list you ordered. Opium, sodium hypochlorite. It can't be just headaches you're trying to cure.
This dreadful influenza, of course. I already ran some tests on hopeless cases. Without success, I must admit.
Do you realize you could create a lethal poison without the correct dosage? Then there are the legal ramifications.
Is this not true of any medical substance, Dr. Reed? However, if you would agree to improve it, I'd be glad to accept your help.
As long as you promise to be scrupulous with your experiments, I may try to gather these substances, and even help improve upon the mixture.
That's all I'm asking for, Dr. Reed. That's all I'm asking.
I want to know about these secret tests you run, and if they can save people from this epidemic. Speak to me now, Thoreau.
I know I may sound presumptuous, but I'm just following your steps, Dr. Reed. I'm casting away the shadows of ignorance by daring to face them.
Self-confidence is essential in our line of work, my young colleague, but only if tempered with the correct amount of cynicism.
But you never doubt yourself, Dr. Reed. I've read all your articles and books. You performed the most daring research during the war.
Allez, vous avez
You
mon
have
soutien.
my support, Dr. Strickland. I know exactly what it feels like to battle an unknown disease, with only your mind and force of will to help you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. You don't know what that means to me.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. I can't let Strickland put his patients at risk with opium. Perhaps an adjusted formula will deliver more of a placebo effect. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippett's, shall we say, misdemeanor.
I'm so glad you share my point of view. Dr. Tippett is a brilliant practitioner. We most definitely need his know-how.
I hope you're right. This is a huge risk we're taking.
Dr. Tippett must regain his confidence. Please, keep this decision between you and me. He doesn't need to know you found out.
Ah, et j'ai perdu un indice concernant le docteur Tippett.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Voilà, donc une quête de faire encore.
Hello again, Mr. Thatcher. Do you feel any better now?
Yes, this neighborhood may stink of dog shit and reek of piss, but to me it smells like the purest mountain air.
Do you need medical attention?
Don't get me wrong, sir. I'm grateful for what you've done, but I've never felt comfortable with doctors.
Bah tu
I'm
crois
certain
quand
you have
même.
your reasons. But let me assure you, I'm not like other doctors you may have consulted with.
It is true. You risked
J'ai
your
le
life
pouvoir
to
de
save me.
persuasion, moi.
It would be impolite to refuse your counsel.
Why were you locked in that sewer? What happened?
I went by the canal after an argument with a friend. Got chased by these fucking wankers and had to barricade myself in, despite my claustrophobia.
Tell me about your claustrophobia. Has anyone given you an official diagnosis?
That's what the bloody doctor said. But I don't want to go to a hospital to get checked again. I'll deal with it my own way.
Oswald, why did you not go to the Pembroke hospital to seek medical help?
I don't trust doctors. All they care about was their careers and processes. I won't be locked in any room again by anyone.
Your fear of being trapped is not going to go away by itself. You need professional help.
I've seen enough butchers in white coats to last a lifetime. Hospitals reek of chemicals and death. What I need is fresh air.
Do you want to talk about why you have this fear of being enclosed, Mr. Thatcher?
No, I really don't.
An irrational fear like yours is usually rooted in a specific event. Perhaps it would help to talk about it.
Well, Doctor, take a guess then, if you're so interested in my case.
Ça avait été enseveli. Bah, en soi, je le sais parce que son ami me l'a dit, donc du coup, je le sais. Il a été enseveli.
When I rescued you, you expressed joy at seeing the sky again. So I'm inclined to believe you were trapped or buried somehow. Maybe during a shelling.
Jeez, you're good, Doc. You're really good.
Go on, please. Tell me more about it.
Newton and I were trapped in a circulation tunnel after an artillery attack. We were buried alive for several days without ever knowing if we'd be found.
Oswald, tell me about what happened when you were buried in that tunnel with Newton.
It was more than dark. It was black as pitch. Hours seemed like days, and days like months. Oh, the terror, the shameful thoughts. Lord have mercy.
Tell me about your true feelings for Newton.
I love him. I'm not ashamed to say it. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't imagine life without him.
Goodbye, Mr. Thatcher. Try to take care of yourself. Hello again, Mr. Blight.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. You doing your rounds as usual?
How do you feel about Oswald Thatcher? You are more than friends, aren't you?
I love him. I love Oswald. We knew we wouldn't survive the war without each other. But I am terrified, Doctor.
What frightens you so much?
What if people find out? Oswald says I'm ashamed, but it ain't that. It's more, well, you know. I never thought I'd love a man.
La prudence peut-être de ne pas le dire à n'importe qui. Allez, je ne le dirai à personne.
I won't say a word, Mr. Blight. Your secret is safe with me.
I fought for my country and I survived. I saw my comrades die. And now society tells me I'm a criminal for who I love. It makes me so angry.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. Take care of yourself.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Can you tell me anything about recent events in the hospital?
Oh, goodness me. This whole story is such a shame, sir. I have no idea how it happened.
What are you talking about?
Poor Miss Jones. Her body is missing. Someone stole it.
Miss Jones's body has gone missing.
Yes. The body was brought here this morning, and now it's gone.
Who could have stolen a corpse?
That's exactly what I asked myself for the whole day. Who could do such a thing? These are terrible and shameful times, Dr. Reed.
Vu que ça fait déjà 1 heure, on va peut-être aller faire la quête principale. Donc on va trouver Hampton dans l'East End. Rassembler des informations au sujet de l'endroit où se trouve Hampton. Oh, bah, on va commencer par toi. Hein.
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. What do you want?
Ooh, Digby looks at you with love-struck eyes. Tell me, Edwina, is the feeling mutual?
You have no idea how refreshing it can be for a woman to receive all the pleasure she needs. For once.
I'll take your word for it.
What is it, Doctor? A woman's not supposed to talk about these things.
I'm not that easily shocked, Miss Cox. You can speak freely about your lover, if you so wish.
The poor bastard is good to me, if you must know. He makes me feel good. And that's a first.
So you're just like any other couple, after all, are you not?
Yeah, we're so ordinary that I'd put a bullet in his head if he ever cheated on me.
D'accord, ok, très bien.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
Goodbye, Miss Cox.
Mark my words, miss.
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
Whatever do you mean? I'm a tracker of these creatures. A vampire hunter.
You best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back, and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
A sewer dog? What's it look like?
It's an old story. A monster with daggers for teeth and icy claws. He comes of a sudden, nighttime, claiming innocence, then vanishes.
Teeth, claws, murders by night? Your sewer dog is my business. He's the kind of prey I hunt, milady.
Evening, miss.
Well, I never. That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind in fancy togs.
I'm much more myself than when we first met. By the way, I'm Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then, Doctor. I'm Sabrina Cavendish. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about this area?
People don't appreciate that line of questioning round here. You best be more careful with what you say, sir.
You look concerned, Miss Cavendish.
This is a bad borough. Most people I know are afraid. Most locals will rob you blind, or worse. You best mind your step.
So you and your friends all feel in danger? No exceptions?
Tom's the only exception I've come across until now. But he's not like everybody else.
Je vais pas lui poser toutes les questions.
Miss Cavendish, would you be willing to help me locate Sean Hampton?
You better ask Tom, sir.
Why not answer me directly?
We respect the privacy of our customers here, sir. Only Tom can decide who to speak to and what he'll say to them.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed any suspicious activity or strange events recently?
And what do you define as a strange event? More to the point, who are you?
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton, vampire hunter extraordinaire and warden of the East End.
A vampire hunter? Really?
I know what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon, but I'm not. The bloodsuckers exist, and they're close.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'd like to hear more about these vampires you're hunting.
A man of science? Well, I'll be glad to enlighten you.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me, Mr. Thornton?
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour. But I cannot tell you how to find it, sorry.
Really? Why is that?
It's nothing personal, Doctor. I'm sure your intentions are good, but people who sleep there, they have plenty of reasons to hide.
Maybe at least you can tell me who could help me find him.
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom Watts. He's a bartender and good judge of character. If he talks to you, then it's fine by me.
Ok, très bien.
Goodbye. And good hunting, Mr. Throckmorton. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible. I've been told you could help me.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he leave or something?
The important thing is I find him, quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
I believe he returned to his flock. Can you confirm that?
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor and sick. Well, I guess it has something to do with what happened to him as a baby.
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin. Well, would explain his faith and need to help everyone.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
So few clients. What would the epidemic no one dares go outside?
Je suppose que maintenant je peux essayer de le retrouver, non? On va tenter, on verra bien. Oh 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 wow. Mais lui il est niveau 22, par contre ça va être compliqué. Oh, ah ben voilà. Non, mais en même temps avec des autres derrière, franchement. Je sais pas pourquoi je le sens pas trop cette histoire, mais. C'est pas lui que je voulais vraiment eu. Mais c'est quoi ce bully là? Genre d'où? La blague. J'aime bien comme il y a un truc qui est en train de se faire. Il y a leur pote qui était vraiment là. Mais. T'as genre encore me bouffer les deux, donc ça va encore être la merde. Mais si. je sais pas si c'est une bonne idée, mais... J'ai pas de sort donc je peux rien faire en plus. Mais s'il faut faire comme ça, je ferai comme ça, écoutez. Ah, le vilain. Ça marche à travers le mur. Oui, ça marche. Écoute, s'il faut faire ça, je ferai ça. Oh bah génial, j'en ai eu un. Un pas en avant et un pas en arrière. C'est vraiment ça. Bon bah s'il faut faire comme ça, bah moi je ferai comme ça et puis zut, coucou. Écoute, s'il faut jouer comme ça. Bah du coup c'est vrai que je pourrais essayer. Allez. Ah du coup il a pas sa copain qui vienne pour une fois. C'est étonnant. Ah d'accord, si. Ça va être chiant par contre avec eux là. Mais... Vite. Ah t'es pas mort, je pensais que ça te tuerait mais... Un coup et puis c'est bon. Ah bah enfin, punaise.
The wounds on this corpse are deep, the result of rabid rage. If this is Sean's doing, he's become a murderous beast.
En vrai, ça se trouve c'est pas lui, mais... Berge des Tamises. J'aurais peut-être pas utilisé mon ulti pour ça, mais... Encore un coup et je l'ai. Non mais vraiment là? Tu cours? À la tour du refuge nocturne. Par contre, si les gens doivent faire ça à chaque fois pour aller le voir, lui, ça doit être compliqué, hein. Moi j'ai des pouvoirs, je galère déjà en vrai. Donc du coup...
It's locked.
Or are you just out of your mind?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I have your attention for a minute?
Good evening, sir. My name is Giselle Paxton, but I don't have time for men like you.
Have we met before?
No, but I just need to look at your fancy clothes to know that you must be desperate to visit the docks at night.
That's quite judgmental of you.
Sir, I've led enough strikes when I had a job to identify you as an enemy of the working class.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
What is it you want? Does he owe you money? Has he displeased your Royal Highness? I'm no snitch, Mr. Fancy Pants.
D'accord, donc elle ne me donnera pas d'infos. Hein.
You speak of strikes and class enemy. Am I right to assume you're involved in trade union activism?
You bet I am. Well, I was. Nowadays, I'm just another worker blacklisted by the big companies.
Isn't the whole point of trade unions to help workers in need? Why don't they support you?
A few nights back, I lost the money my companions had asked me to hide. With me and my sister being penniless, they thought I stole it.
What really happened?
I drank too much that night. Strange men saw me count the money in that bar. Some sort of militia in uniform. I'm sure they robbed me.
What can you tell me about this vicinity?
Tell you what, just spend a few weeks here, and then ask me that question again. If you're still alive, I mean.
Ok, au moins c'est clair. Je peux la croquer si je veux, mais bon, ça c'est pas moi qui décide, c'est vous. Bah du coup, on va continuer.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Can I help you?
A fancy doctor lurking at night by the docks? Not fishy at all.
And what about you? Working outside at night in this dangerous part of town?
You want to know my secret? I'm trying to earn money. And I'm Lottie Paxton, by the way.
Ah, c'est la sœur de
I'm
l'autre.
looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
Mr. Hampton must be in his office at the night asylum he manages, I suppose. Why do you want to see him?
He was a patient of mine at the Pembroke hospital, but he left abruptly.
I see. Well, Mr. Hampton is a discreet and dedicated man. I'm sure you'll find him soon enough.
Ok, on va pas parler à tout le monde de tout maintenant. Ah bah il est là-bas.
Why the long face, Doctor?
Oh, qu'est-ce qui lui est arrivé?
It looks like we both have changed a lot. I must confess, it saddens me, Sean.
Put your faith in the Lord, Doctor. He has a plan for all of us. We may not always see it, but he does.
Since you left Pembroke, the amount of blood that has been shed, it's hard to believe you, Sean.
Ask what you will. As the Lord is my shepherd, I will not speak a lie to you.
Aren't you afraid of what you've become?
We are blessed, Doctor. Can't you see it? The Lord has made us able to walk amongst the plague and aid those that need it.
Do you think this is a blessing when God's own house and holy symbols repel you?
If that is your burden, Doctor, so be it. But I do not fear the cross, nor am I forced to take the life of another. My kind doesn't share your imperfections.
But you must drink blood now to survive.
No, not your scripture. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. So saith the Lord. I only need to eat flesh, no blood.
Why did you kill Miss Jones at the Pembroke hospital?
Killed old Harriet? You must be mad, Doctor. Why would I do such a thing?
Bah parce que tu perds le contrôle, mec.
So you claim Miss Jones' death was not by your hand, nor the other incidents at Pembroke?
Though Harriet was an angry, spiteful woman, she was one of God's creatures. I have nothing but love for all he has made.
But you were close to her.
Of course. But she was lost, separated from the fold. She did not see the hand of the divine in my blessed condition.
People have been murdered. I've seen the blood. I don't believe you can be trusted.
Have a little faith, Doctor. If you will follow, I will guide you to the light.
How do you plan to do that?
Take this key of the old sewers. The entrance is by the riverbank, south from here. There you'll find all the proof you need.
Very well. You have definitely intrigued me. I hope you're right, Sean.
I'll be here when you return. If you still think I'm a threat then, well, I'll surrender myself to your judgment.
Qui veut noyer son chien? Attends, je peux encore te parler à toi?
Talk when you've returned from the sewers, Dr. Reed.
D'accord, très bien. Feuille de papier pliée. C'est vrai qu'on n'a pas trouvé beaucoup de documents dans cette partie-là. Pardonnez-moi, Seigneur, pour ce que je suis sur le point de confesser. Je souhaiterais quelquefois n'avoir jamais sauvé Dyson Delany de la noyade quand il est tombé dans ce canal. Voilà, je l'ai dit. Je vous en prie, Seigneur, pardonnez-moi, que je suis qu'un pauvre pécheur. Même un alcoolique sévère tel que William Bishop continue à lutter contre son addiction et à demander son salut, à demander la lumière du Christ. Et tant qu'il désire trouver cette lumière, il y a de la place pour l'espoir. Dyson Delany n'en a plus. D'accord, très bien. Note de la garde de Priwen. Expéditeur porte de ce commandement de la garde de Priwen, destinataire patrouille des docks, sujet chasseur de vampires, imposteur à éviter. Certains de nos éclaireurs nous ont récemment signalé la présence d'un certain Inchabot. Dans un combat contre suceur de sang, le pauvre homme ne pourrait servir à rien d'autre qu'à faire l'appât. Trouver l'entrée des égouts. De toute façon, je vais pas avoir le choix, donc... Oh oui, oui, nice. M'en fous, je me suis... Ouais, j'allais dire par contre... Mais... des fois, j'ai même pas le temps de... Vas-y. Ah, ils sont au-dessus, je suppose.
That doesn't work. So that's it. These wheels control the water level.
Ah ouais, donc c'était juste pour faire ça, d'accord. Ok, très bien. Mais on va d'abord aller voir là parce que il y a peut-être des choses. De l'argent, on crache pas dessus, hein. D'accord, je peux pas aller par là. peux aller que par là. Ou pas? Non?
A few moments later.
That gate should shut properly now.
D'accord, c'était bien ce que je pensais. Alors je dois fermer les deux. On va avoir accès en bas. D'accord, très bien. Il y a un school. Il y a beaucoup de sang ici. J'ai entendu un bruit de téléportation là. Oh.
These maggots have escaped the wrath of Ascalon for too long. It is time to purge the sewers of their filth.
You again? The one they call the sewer dog.
Hold your tongue, newborn, or I'll crush you like a maggot.
Oh.
You've let the beast consume you.
Finally, a touch of lucidity.
Ah.
Learn to respect the laws of Ascalon. Empower you.
Bon, j'ai compté, il le fait souvent, il le fait 3 fois.
The hand that crushes up. Whence you vanished, I'll slaughter these scalds while singing your name.
Wow. Eh, j'avais appuyé. Mais bon, je dis pas grand chose, je suis concentrée parce que ce boss là est très a des phases assez chiantes. Wow, wow, wow.
Your blood is now mine. Down, stay down.
Bah c'est bon, il est fini. Mais il y a une autre phase, il y a un autre combat avec lui qui est vraiment beaucoup plus dur que ça. Mais c'est une quête secondaire, mais bon voilà quoi. Ouh, bon, c'était un peu tendu quand même, hein.
At least one Skull escaped Fergal's wrath.
Bah, en soi, les schools, vaut mieux peut-être quand même le laisser les tuer. Ils sont dangereux et sont incontrôlables.
The poor creature is bleeding to death. He cannot be far.
Encore un peu, je passe à côté.
We are still. Drink now.
T'as des schools qui parlent.
This isn't the blood of a vampire, but it will quench your thirst.
Bonjour. Territoire des Skulls des égouts.
This is our domain, not yours. You've been warned.
Wait, I saved you from this creature. That must count for something.
Thank you. Now go. Go back to the streets and houses. There is no love lost between us, Vampire. But thank you.
Allez, vous semblez triste.
Please, who are you? I sense your sadness.
If you must know, they call me Old Bridget. And this shelter is where we live.
I'm Jonathan Reed. I'm a newborn Ekon. I'm afraid I'm not sure what's going on.
I shall not bend a knee, young Ekon. But I sense your pain. Ask, and I will afford you my attention.
Why was that creature after you?
Fergal is the blunt instrument of the Ascalon Club. His masters would see us dead or turned into slaves, if they had their way.
What the hell was that thing? He wasn't an Ekon or a Skal.
They are known as Volkod, an ancient offshoot of immortals. Blood drives them, enrages them.
What of this Ascalon Club?
Vampire Society's elite in the Empire. They make the rules and enforce their judgment upon us whom they see as lessers.
So is it you that Sean Hampton sent me to find?
Perhaps. The sad saint was always kind to us. He must trust you if he revealed our location.
Sean is a Skal. All those I've encountered have been violent, crazed creatures. How can he be any different?
Maybe because he is the sad saint. Or perhaps because I am Old Bridget of the Sewer Skulls.
Sean killed a patient of mine. And that's just one of the murders he's being hunted for.
If you refer to Harriet, she is now among us and under our protection.
Harriet Jones is alive. That's it. That's the proof Sean wanted me to find. I must talk to her.
No. Harriet is not alive. But you can speak to her. I must warn you. She is fragile and may not receive you warmly.
I don't understand.
She is filled with bile and hate. Her mind is sharp as a tack, but her body is so weak. I've never seen its like before. She is resting in a room on the far right of this hideout.
Thank you. I will bear that in mind.